Hi, and welcome back to Dr. Sylvia K. Grow Through This. I'm so happy you are here, and we're going to be talking about Module 2 in my curriculum titled Overcoming Loneliness, Unlocking Confidence, and Embracing Connection. So today we're going to talk about the drama triangle. We all have some drama in our life at one point, and what I want to explain to you is a family therapy system model called the Bowen family therapy model that really explains what drama triangles are all about. So just to give you a little brief background, Bowen believed that we as a human species, what we share in common with all other species is the desire to survive. And one of our mechanisms to survive in this complex world is anxiety. So the emotion of anxiety really is a way that we as humans stay alive. So anytime that we perceive something as a threat to our safety, or anytime that we perceive something as a threat to something that's really important to us, we're going to experience some level of anxiety. So let's go back to the drama triangle. When you have two people experiencing tension between them and it's getting to be too much, what we often do is triangulate another person. We pull a third person into our argument to help ourselves, I guess, better manage the anxiety that we're dealing with. Because let's face it, most of us don't really enjoy conflict. Most of us don't really enjoy experiencing tension. So what we naturally do is pull in a third person, and then voila, we create a drama triangle. So imagine two people experiencing tension, and then when you pull in the third person, you create a drama triangle. At the bottom, go ahead and we'll take a piece of paper first. And at the bottom of the triangle, draw a triangle first. And at the bottom of the triangle, draw or write the name of two people that you know that are experiencing tension. And who's that third person that you bring in? I think it's best if you actually use yourself. So imagine tension between you and somebody else. Put your names at the bottom of the triangle. And at the top of the triangle, write the third person's name. Now, the other thing I want to explain, with a drama triangle, there are three roles that we all take on: the villain, the rescuer, and the victim. Now, when you look at the drama triangle that you drew yourself and you look at the names that you wrote in, go ahead and assign a role to each person. Who's the villain, who's the victim, and who's the rescuer? Now, the interesting thing about the drama triangle is that it doesn't really matter which role you ascribe to who, because eventually everyone ends up playing all three roles, because it really just depends on who's telling the story. Now let's go back to the drama triangle. What do we do when we're in a drama triangle? What do we do when we are hearing a story that someone else is placing us as the bad guy or placing us as the victim, etc.? Well, I think one thing that's really important to do is to take a moment and recognize what is one pain point that all three people could possibly have in common. So for example, a universal pain point that a lot of people experience is that they're not good enough. They feel like they're not good enough, or they feel like no matter what they do, it's never enough, right? This not enoughness. So if you look at the tension between two people, let's say one friend is really upset because they feel that the other friend is not giving them enough time or spending enough time with them, right? Or giving them enough attention. And the other person is feeling overwhelmed in their own life and feels that the other person doesn't appreciate them. So there's tension, there's a feeling of being misunderstood, and one of the people will pull in a third person to vent, right? To just share the frustration that they're going through. Now, if you look at those three people, maybe all three share the same pain point. There's some feeling of not enoughness. So to exit the drama triangle, it's really important to identify what pain point that you could all three have in common. And here's where you make the major shift. You take full accountability and responsibility for that pain point. And I want to invite you to do a meditation, a very powerful meditation that can shift not only your perspective, but it can shift your position out of the triangle. This is how you exit the drama triangle, by participating in this very powerful meditation, or let's just call it a visualization, with intent and purpose. So take a moment, think about that other person that you might be experiencing tension with. Think about the third person that you pull in, and then think about the pain point. What is the universal pain point that all three people have in common? Maybe it's feeling not enough. Maybe it's feeling not valued. Maybe it's feeling that you're too much. Whatever it is, just contemplate on that pain point for a second. And now own it. Take responsibility. Know that there is this vulnerability within you. There's nothing wrong with that. And actually owning that vulnerability deepens connections with others and with yourself. So now I want you to just take a deep breath with me. Inhale into your nose. Exhale out of your mouth and make a ha sound. And now I want you to think about that pain point. Think about different times in your life where you have felt not enough or maybe too much. And just take a moment to allow memories to pop up or thoughts to pop up around that pain point of when you felt not enough or too much. And I want you to validate yourself and all the feelings that you have experienced around that pain point. No need to change it, no need to fix it. And now I want you to get really still for a second. Uncross your legs if you can. Sit in a comfortable place. Take another deep breath with me. Exhale it out, make a ha sound. And now I want you to imagine that as you own that pain point, and you validated all the emotions that you've experienced around that pain point, I want you to get really still and imagine releasing all the pain that you have internalized from that pain point. I want you to imagine releasing all that pain point and release it, let's say, to the sky or out into the universe. Release it to an energy that is symbolic of the most unconditional form of love, the most unconditional form of peace. And so as you're sitting there, follow me and just imagine you're releasing all the pain that you've absorbed around the pain point, around not feeling enough or feeling too much. And I want you, as you're releasing all of that pain, imagine the pain around that narrative, that self-limiting narrative around that vulnerability is now going to be transmuted into the most beautiful, unconditional form of love and peace. And now with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine a beautiful golden white light, a healing white light, filled with the purest form of unconditional love and peace. And I want you to imagine that light now coming in through the top of your head into your body and swirling around your entire body, resetting your DNA, resetting all memory associations connected to that pain point. And I just want you to breathe it in and allow all that unconditional love and peace to come in, resetting your DNA activity, inhaling in and exhaling it all out. And now I want you to extend compassion to the two other people left in that drama triangle. You can't do the healing for them, but what you can do is extend compassion and understanding and realize that they too hurt. They too have their own vulnerabilities. And this is how you exit the triangle. This is how you create a deeper connection with yourself that will enhance also your connection with others. So stay tuned for more modules in my curriculum titled Overcoming Loneliness, Unlocking Confidence, and Embracing Connection. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon.